thousands of classified documents.
And the FTSE's up and the ports are clear. So far, Brexit Britain seems to be running smoothly.
More now on our top story, the expected tightening of restrictions here in the UK to curb the spread of the coronavirus. Professor Julian Tang is from the Department of Respiratory Sciences at the University of Leicester here in the UK. He told me how important it is for the government to take action now.
Unfortunately, this virus is now pretty much out of control with the new variants and the post-festive season socialising. So I think we need to do something to get on top of this virus. The vaccine at the moment is just starting. The vaccine response is going to be too slow to control this virus at the moment and prevent our healthcare services being overwhelmed and more deaths in the elderly and the vulnerable.
So how long are you thinking it is before this could get under control?
At least 4 weeks, given the previous lockdowns and the previous impact of the duration of previous lockdowns. And now we're seeing surges that are in excess of any previous surges we've seen, except for the very first wave. I'm guessing at least 4 to 6, perhaps even 8 weeks, at least to get ahead of this, or at least get level with the virus to reduce the R to 1, possibly less.
Many people are certainly relieved that the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine is now being administered as we speak. Will this enable the vaccine programme to shift up a gear?
Yes, I think it will. There'll be more doses available to more people across more distribution centres, but hitting that 1 million to 2 million doses jabs per week, I think is really reliant on logistical practicalities of getting enough staff to actually administer the vaccine jab, even if the manufacturer can keep it with the actual manufacturing rate to meet that demand.
And what's your view on this new policy of delaying second doses of vaccines, either AstraZeneca's or Pfizer's? Should as many people as possible be getting one dose first?
Yeah, so I agree with that, and I think given the rate of spread of the virus, getting one dose is better than getting no dose, especially in those who are still vulnerable and haven't had any doses yet. After one dose, if you respond to that one dose, and we know that perhaps 50 to 70% of people will respond to that one dose, you may still get additional boosting by natural exposure to circulating virus in the community as well. And that will help to boost the first dose of the vaccine and maintain immunity till they get the second dose 12 weeks later. And I think given the possible lack of stock of the virus, if you want to meet this 1 to 2 million doses per week threshold, spreading the first dose out across the population, I think, is a good idea.
How is this vaccine rollout different to any other in recent history?
Well, it's unprecedented. I mean, the most widespread vaccination program that we're used to is the seasonal flu vaccine, but even that, we're really only trying to immunize about 10 to 15% of the most vulnerable population each season. Given the other pandemics we've seen, for example, the pandemic 2009, HIV, for which we haven't had a vaccine yet, hepatitis C, again, we don't need the vaccine because that's curable now. Hepatitis B we tend to vaccinate in a piecemeal fashion, but also now countries worldwide are using the 6-in-1 hexavalent vaccine to immunize all babies at birth. That one's probably more comparable to what we're doing now, but again, we're only immunizing babies with that vaccine. And similarly for the flu primary school vaccination program, we're only immunizing primary school children. So this is really across all ages, all groups, including those who are eventually under 50. So it's really unprecedented, and probably you have to go back to at least a smallpox era to really see this widespread immunization across all age groups, across all groups globally.